Beginning to this ball game, second quarter now about to start. Aggies leading the Cowboys 14-12. In case you missed it, Wyoming got after that, fast break start, marching down the field, scoring a touchdown, and then a special teams gaffe, able to score on the special teams play and led 12-0 before Utah State's offense even had a chance to get the football. And the Aggies have battled back. Going to the end zone, he's got Robert Turbin out there, he's caught an Aggie touchdown. Keaton to Turbin.
Great matchup. Turbin on Hendricks. Hendricks can't keep up with that big hulking back for Utah State. Turbin, another touchdown. That's his second of the ball game, and again, the Aggies now 16 of 16 inside the red zone on the season. A 99-yard drive for the Aggie offense, and letting Keaton go, letting him throw. And he's doing well here early in this ball game.
Ninth receiving touchdown by Robert Turbin in his brilliant Utah State career. The point after is good by Thompson, and the Aggies extending their lead in the very first play of the second quarter, 21-12 now. And go back to Chucky Keaton. Kevin, we had that CSU game. He only had 9 for 15 for 86, already surpassing that in just the beginning of the second quarter. Brooks Hansen, let's check in on Brooks. What do you have for us, Brooks?
Hey guys, you talk about Wyoming and their defensive line. Their defensive line coach is a former Aggie. It's Danilo Robinson. Those Aggie fans will remember him from 93 to 96. He was the D-line coach. He also was teammates with Utah State's quarterback coach, Matt Wells, somebody that Coach Anderson brought in from New Mexico this season to help coach Chucky Keaton. So keep your eye on the D-line coach, Danilo Robinson. Some sort of a homecoming that I'm sure he's not enjoying right now. Guys, back up to you.
Nice work, Brooks. Of course, the Aggies, that was a 99-yard play drive. That was unbelievable. It only took 2:31, and of course it was the big Keaton to Turbin play. What a beginning to the second quarter now.
And a big play to Kerwin Williams down the sideline. Keaton now 5 of 6, 124 yards already in the first quarter and 8 seconds. Thrown for more yardage than he threw for last week against BYU, 2 weeks ago against Colorado State.
How about that?
That was one of the keys for tonight's ball game.
And this is going to go out of bounds. It'll be a penalty. So close to being a touchback. 2 yards away was Howder, and now the Cowboys will have a nice drive start to begin the second quarter.
That's a 20-yard difference from the 20 to the 40. So that penalizes you. Gives Wyoming great field position to start. But how about the response by this Aggie offense? 3 possessions, 3 scores, 2 of them by that touchdown maker, Robert Turbin.
First down.
So the GNC scoring drive, 7 plays, 99 yards, 2.5 of clock, and then Keaton 19 yards to Turbin. As you mentioned, the red zone perfection continues.
It's amazing.
In week 6.
And this Aggie freshman quarterback looking very strong in this ball game. And terrific play calling, I think, by Coach Dave Baldwin, offensive coordinator, mixing up run and pass and giving Keaton a chance to throw it down the field.
Keaton, as we mentioned, 5 of 6 for 124 yards, and now 2 touchdowns. Harris Smith trying to get him, hard to sack him, and they get him from behind. Levi Koskin, young man who played his high school football at Skyview, comes in with another stop, and hasn't he been terrific this season?
Had a couple of sacks 2 weeks ago against Colorado State. Sort of fell down the depth chart a little bit.
Well, when Fenica came back, he kind of took his starting job, and then they kind of moved him to D-end.
And then he just keeps making plays. He keeps improving, keeps working. And you see that effort right there on that play, chasing down from the backside. And now Gary Anderson making a little bit of an adjustment, a little bit more pressure on Smith.
Second and about 8. Doxson on the near side, makes a man miss, and picks up a first down. Good play by the true freshman that time. Josh Doxson out of Mansfield, Texas, his second catch of this ball game.
And he beat Jermaine Robertson that time on the outside. A lot of cushion, 10-yard cushion. And then Robertson, a nice stiff arm by Doxson, couldn't get him to the turf.
Another pass play. Has a chance to go here. This is McNeil stiff-arming a man at the 10, and finally brought down by McMillan, the freshman. And the Cowboys are coming back.
Simple little pitch and catch, good blocking downfield. Wagner had that one read, but got it clipped on the outside with a good block. I think that might have been Ruffin that got him to the turf, giving McNeil the space down the sideline, and then a slip by McClinton gave him another 10 or 15 yards. Right, just like that, Wyoming back in business.
Gain of 37. 13:30, and now Coach Anderson's going to call a timeout. Wants to talk things over. His defense had settled in at the end of that first quarter, but now Wyoming coming back. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. 29 remaining to be played in this first half. It's been a fun first half, up and down, big play action. The Cowboys have a first and goal from the 7-yard line, looking to counter back as the Aggies have 21 unanswered so far. Smith, the true freshman quarterback, going to run it himself up the middle, follows the block, dives forward to about the 2-yard line. And he's looked good also on the ground. I mean, his numbers are sensational passing-wise, but also he's made good decisions to tuck and run.
He's got good mobility. Good-looking freshman here. A lot of optimism for this Wyoming offense in the future with this young man.
Freshman from Salem, Oregon. Second and goal now from the 2. Pile surges close to the goal line. No signal yet. Looks like he's going to be shy of the goal line. And there it is, a delayed call. Touchdown, Cowboys. Well, somehow they were able to tell through all the mess of humanity he crossed the goal line. Interesting.
Yeah, under that big pile, the official had to unpile everybody.
There's just so many things that can happen in that pile, Kevin.
Absolutely.
Who knows when he was down it? Even if they do look at this, it'll be hard to overturn it. How can you overturn it through that?
They're going to give it a shot, though, looks like. They're going to review this thing. Because it was such a delayed call, I think that's why you have to review it. But I don't think there's any way that you can overturn it. I mean, there's such a mass of humanity there. How about this offensive start? Wyoming averaging almost 9 yards per play. Utah State over 11 yards per play here early in the game. Almost 400 total yards in the first quarter in a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
If you like offense, this is the place to be as you have another look. I mean, the official is...
He's got the best look there, doesn't he?
He does. And he's the one that made the call. Watch him come up. And he's the one that's going to signal touchdown. Again, who knows when he was down, if he was ever down. I don't know how you can make heads or tails of that.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way they can overturn this. Don't know how many other views they've got. I think this touchdown will stand.
That would be the only view you could really use. Even the backside, you don't know where the knee is, where the ball is in relation to it.
And a quick review by the officials. Yeah, that's about all you can do. And a nice response by the Wyoming offense. But again, it was set up by the kick out of bounds.
Oh, good point.
You start at the 40-yard line, start with great field position. You get a big play down the sideline with McNeil, and you're right back in the ball game. So as quickly as Utah State seemed to take control, Wyoming comes right back.
And so far they have not made an extra point. This one was contested, but this one is good. So a 2-point game now. Aggies still leading 21-19, but the Cowboys able to get a score on the ground. We'll be back after this. Mentioned a nice response, Kevin, by Wyoming. 5 plays, 60 yards, less than 2 minutes of clock consumed, and lost in the shuffle. That was a touchdown by Brandon Miller, his second rushing touchdown of the season.
It was a nice response by that Wyoming offense. Again, set up by the poor kickoff. So special teams coming into play on both sides of the game, on both sides of the field early here in the football game.
Sullivan's kick is a short one. Be taken at about the 16. This is Williams. Look at him go again. He had a 50-yard return earlier in that first quarter to set up the Aggies' first touchdown. This is a nice return, and the Aggies get a good drive start across the 40.
And he's one of those guys, you can hear it from the stands. You can hear every time he touches the football, everybody kind of holds their breath because he's one of those guys that can go the distance every time he touches the football.
GNC, 5 plays, 60 yards, 1:58 of clock, the 2-yard rush by Miller.
And now if you're Wyoming, how do you respond? What sort of adjustments do you make on defense to try to slow down this Aggie offense?
Telve going in motion, going to keep it on the ground. Look at this, and Marshall just got tripped up. A shoelace tackle on Robert Marshall, who's getting some playing time this ball game. His second carry already. Again, coming into it, just had 4.
It might be something that they saw on film during the week, that that defensive line, you know, Coach Anderson talked about that Aggie offensive line really strong in the run game, obviously 300 yards plus per game, and they might have seen something on film there.
A short pass. There's Moats down the edge. Nice play by Eric Moats all the way to the 30-yard line. So the offense is red hot, both teams. Good to see Moats with a bounce-back performance. The senior from Highlands Ranch, Colorado.
We talked about it last week. He had that score against BYU. And again, out in front, Jacobs this time for Utah State, the wide receiver. Watch him get out in front here, make this block, and spring Moats for another 5 to 10 yards. Right there, terrific block by Jacobs. And the small nuance here was the pass out in front of Moats where he could catch it and turn it upfield. Terrific throw by Keaton.
Robert Turbin trying to get to the edge. Turns it up and just tripped up. It's about the 25-yard line.
Boy, and if Luke Anderson, the free safety, number 3 there, doesn't get a hand on the ankle, I think Turbin turns that thing up and may score. You know, for as big as he is, terrific acceleration and, you know, just so strong. Fun to watch, isn't he?
Coming off that injury too, Kevin. I remember missed all of last season with the injury and coming back in fine fashion here in his junior year. Keaton to pass. It's got at the 20 by Austin. Makes his second grab. Will be shy of a first down. So 3rd and 1 coming up here for Utah State's offense.
And the quick pace, the hurry up, to get to the line of scrimmage, catch Wyoming off guard, snap the football, and try to get that first down.
They will keep it on the ground, and Smith should have it. Gets the nice spot. I think Talavea was in the backfield that time, a reserve tight end. And prepping at West Jordan High School with that nice catch against Auburn week 1. And good to see him getting some playing time and doing a nice job blocking. And that's the other thing Coach Anderson talked about is the reason why our running game is so good is also because the blocking from the tight end spot.
Everybody gets into that run game blocking. They coach it. They do a terrific job.
Keaton fires down the middle, caught by Talavea for a touchdown.
Another red zone score, Michael. That's 17 of 17. 14 of them for touchdowns. And a terrific catch by Talavea, but an even better throw, I think, by Keaton. He stood in there, waited. Talavea right down the seam, opened up, goes up high for the catch, gets in the end zone. 4 for 4 for Utah State on their drives.
18-yard pass play as Thompson comes in for the point after. Boy, defenses beware here this ball game. Both the Aggies and the Cowboys wearing out this field turf here in Logan. Still 10:37 left. And how about DJ Talavea? Just his second catch of the year, his first touchdown.
And the first one, as you mentioned, at Auburn was on that fake field goal, wasn't it? Then he made that shoestring catch that kept the drive alive to get the Aggies into the end zone on the 10-point lead. This time, Talavea, a little release route down the center of the field. Keaton did a great job. You could see it there on the replay. He got the free safety moving to the side as he waited, sidestepped just a little bit here to the right, saw Talavea break open. Talavea up, in for the catch and the score.
The numbers on Chucky Keaton, 8 of 9, 169 yards and 3 touchdowns. A brilliant first half so far for the true freshman quarterback.
And I think Coach Anderson and Coach Baldwin, the offensive coordinator, knew that they needed to get Keaton really early involved in this ball game, and they have. Because when you come in rushing for 300-plus yards per game, you know that Wyoming's going to stack that line of scrimmage, try to force the freshman to beat you. And tonight he's doing it.
And we are seeing some throws a little bit more down the field than we're accustomed to start from the goal line. Up past the 15. And this is a nice play by the Aggies special teams. Wyoming does not make the 20. That was Rufran with the return.
And I think that was Will Davis, number 17, on the coverage, making a terrific stop on the special teams.
Will Davis' name a couple times here. He's done a nice job.
I'm running out of breath already here early in this game, Michael. Still 10:30 left in the first half. Utah State coming up on 300 total yards. Wyoming almost 200.
Defenses beware here is now Smith's turn. What can this freshman quarterback do?
And what can Gary Anderson do on the defensive side to try to slow this thing down a little bit?
Incomplete pass. Gallagher with the coverage.
And for Wyoming, everything quick also. Quick little hitch routes, quick little bubble screens.
It's hard to sack him because Gary says they get rid of it in less than 2 seconds about every play.
And Gallagher right there making that play. And again, you called it on the last drive, or 2 drives ago, I guess it was, when Wyoming was 2nd and long, 3rd and long. If the Aggie defense can get them in 3rd and long, that will be key here tonight.
Yeah, winning on 1st and 2nd downs, that's a big deal to this defense. All day to throw. And they're going to get him this time inside the 5-yard line. And it's Koskin. Levi Koskin again coming in and getting the sack.
You know, when you've got a motor like that, you just can't keep him off the field. No matter what the talent level is, his motor makes it so they can't bring him off the field. This kid from Skyview High School just goes, and never stops. Just a three-man rush here. You got Bobby Wagner spying just a little bit. Koskin beat the offensive tackle and got to Smith the first sack of the football game.
Big win for this defense. Now, can they continue it on third down? Koskin now with 3.5 sacks on the season. They will stay on the ground and far from a first down as Ghali Muhammad, as a Cowboy helmet rolls to about the 10-yard line. Pardon me, that's a Utah State helmet as the Aggies, though, get off the field. Nice job by this defense. That's Brady. He's got to put the headgear back on.
I'm sure he's itching to just get back out on the field again after obviously being ejected last week. But a nice job by the defense. Gary Anderson making some adjustments, putting a little bit more pressure on Smith this time, and the Aggies force a punt. Now, Wyoming's got to get a stopper. This could get out of hand.
A low punt. Look out. This might hit an Aggie if they're not careful. It's going to be fielded, and he got dropped back at the 40. Eric Moats trying to save some field position. Does. He might be a little goofy, though, after that hit. Wow, what a hit by the Cowboys.
And it may have hit an Aggie player. I think that may be why Moats came up and grabbed that thing.
It was low enough to hit him. I couldn't tell from up here.
Let's see if it did hit the up back here. Might be hard to tell. You can't tell from that angle. But Moats taking no chances here. Well, I guess he took a huge chance.
That's a risk.
How about that kid who fumbled two punts 2 weeks ago, having the confidence to come back and knowing the pressure is going to drill him, grabs the football and saves, probably 10 to 15 yards. I think it may have touched an up back for Utah State, and that may be why the officials are conferring here. Regardless, the Aggies are going to get terrific field position.
Again, the numbers on Keaton, 8 of 9 for 169 and 3 touchdowns.
Utah State, 15 yards.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. There's a flag on the far side of the field. Something must have happened after the play on the sideline. Talking to Gary Anderson over there. Maybe he's on the coaching staff. I don't know what the foul was. But it'll move back. The Aggies back 15 yards. But in this game, doesn't seem to matter. They've got 99 yards on one drive already.
Well, more room to operate for Chucky Keaton in this offense. We'll start with the pass to the X-Man. Martin with the catch. Goes absolutely nowhere. Might have lost some yardage that time. But good to see the X-Man making a reception here. And this wide receiving core, very talented. And Martin was a huge part of that offense a year ago, and having a hard time making plays here in this offense because of all the diversity they have with the receiving core.
And that was Marquestin Huff on the coverage. Did a terrific job and a great catch by Martin to hold on. He went right through the block of Morrison.
Chucky in trouble, gets it out to Turbin, incomplete. Just trying to throw that one away, but Martin just hit that, the one catch against BYU. That's only his 4th catch of the season coming in. Trying to get something on the edge, and it just did not work, and now it's going to be 3rd and very long for this Aggie offense.
And a nice adjustment here by the Wyoming defense, coming with pressure that time. The Aggies had the screen set up, but the pressure was a little bit too much, forcing Keaton to kind of throw it sidearm and out in front of Turbin, making it incomplete. Now, as you mentioned, a 3rd and 13. Sort of the first 3rd and long for this Aggie offense tonight.
You get to the 38-yard line. Keaton fires. It's caught by the X-Man, but he's going to be close to a first down. Let's see where they're going to spot this. It will be a first down.
I think that's a favorable spot.
Xavier Martin, I do too, making the catch. That's a clutch reception on a 3rd and 13. He gets 13. And it moves the sticks for the Aggie offense. One more look at this, Kevin. It's close.
And a nice job, Keaton in rhythm, throwing to the out. Martin with a nice catch in the hands. That's a good call by the official. He got that left leg forward just a little bit, all the way to the first down marker.
Needed the 38. Aggies perfect so far on 3rd downs.
Keaton looks terrific tonight, doesn't he, Michael? I mean, looks strong in the pocket, making plays down the field.
Empty backfield here, Kevin. Down the seam, and it's dropped. Had a chance to go. Eric Moats could not hang on.
I think that was the linebacker Hendricks, number 8, that got out there. May have got a hand on Moats' arm or even the football. Moats clapping his hands saying, doggone it, I should have had that one. he was going down the seam and could have gone all the way.
Hendricks, the only senior linebacker on this team, as here is Michael Smith at the edge. Knocked down at about the 44-yard line.
There's Mike Purcell pursuing down the line of scrimmage. 6'3", 286-pound junior from Highlands Ranch, Colorado, making the play here. Terrific block on the outside again by that Aggie receiving corps. This time Morrison making the big block on the corner, but a good play by Purcell saving that first down.
3rd and 5. Here come the Aggies. Keaton with time, and it's caught for a first down. Moats able to hang on this time, and he again will move the chains for the Aggies.
And they're really working on Hendricks, the linebacker here. Again, an option route by Moats. Second time they've run this play. A little out cut, then a pirouette back to the inside. Good for the first down yardage. And I love the fact that they have the confidence in Moats, who had those 2 big drops again 2 weeks ago, coming back and giving him the opportunity to continue to play and make plays in this offense.
It's his 3rd catch, that one coming on a 3rd down. Here's Marshall again, picking his way. Marshall to the 39, and nice gain on first down, able to stay on schedule as this Aggie offense.
And terrific mix by Coach Baldwin, Dave Baldwin, the offensive coordinator of run and pass. And obviously was something that they saw on film this week with that quick little hitter up the middle, that sort of Air Force dive to Marshall. That's the 3rd time he's carried the football already here in the first half.
So Turbin getting closer, needing 52 yards to tie Grant. This is bobbled, and is it caught? Did he come up with it? It is a catch. It'll be a first down by DJ Tialavea, who's having a terrific game, his 2nd catch. This one of the dramatic variety.
Absolutely, and right back to the line of scrimmage. Here's the up-tempo, fast break football, getting Wyoming out of position.
Kerwin Williams to the 20, and he's close to a first down. This offense is clicking.
They are moving, aren't they? 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns. Now they're 5th in the red zone again. Wyoming out of breath, can't get substitutions on and off the field. The Aggies already back to the line of scrimmage, ready to snap the ball again. But I think the only thing that's going to slow them down here is possibly a measurement.
The juggling reception by Tialavea. Going to play that one, as you can see on the sideline. Oh, yeah, that's a catch. That's a catch. How many chances did he have? So many deflections here. Does he hang on to it?
And, you know, good job by the Aggie offense to get to the line of scrimmage and get a playoff before they could review it.
Here's Williams on the far side. Knocked out of bounds by Blair Burns, but I don't know if he really came up with that. You're right, though. Utah State accelerating that tempo to make sure the play could not be reviewed.
This Aggie offense right back to the line of scrimmage. Wyoming still not lined up.
There's Robert Turbin, caught in the backfield. And a loss 2 yard that time. 3rd down coming up for Utah State.
Sometimes when you don't get lined up, you're so far out of position that you're actually in position. I think that's what happened this time for that Wyoming defense. That defensive lineman found himself in position to take Turbin head on. And now the Aggies 3rd and short, 3rd and medium, 3rd and 5. Again, inside the red zone.
Aggies over 131 yards rushing the football. Morrison. You keep it on the ground, stretching forward and close to a first down. I believe Turbin's going to get it. So tough running in the middle by Robert Turbin. Nothing new with that.
No, absolutely not. And again, the patience that he has. And again, Aggies right back to the line of scrimmage, snapping before Wyoming's even set.
This is off the edge. Morrison has scored a touchdown.
And do you know what made this play again, Michael? Is Jacobs out there making a block on the outside. Earlier, it was Morrison blocking for Jacobs. This time, it's Jacobs blocking for Morrison. And the Aggies snapping the ball before Wyoming is even set up for the defensive snap. Utah State already back to the line of scrimmage, snapping the ball and getting the ball into the end zone. 18 of 18 with 15 touchdowns in the red zone. Unbelievable.
Amazing is Morrison scoring his first touchdown of 2011. Thompson's PAT is good. 5:03 left. The Aggies with 35 points in the first half, leading the Cowboys 35-19. Morrison with a touchdown. Offensive explosion for both teams, but how about the Aggies? 35 first half points.
And remember, they were down 12-0 before the offense even touched the football. They've had 5 possessions, 5 touchdowns, over 300 yards of offense here in the first half, 35 points. Unbelievable performance by this Aggie offense. Coach Dave Baldwin calling a heck of a game. Chucky Keaton already 12 of 15, 199 yards and 3 touchdowns. We thought that was going to be one of the keys of tonight's ball game, turning Chucky loose.
10 touchdown passes and no interceptions so far for the freshman. This is returnable, but they're going to get him at the 16-yard line. The second time Wyoming has failed to get at least to the 20-yard line. Davis is there again, and others. Dowdy also.
And the other time where they got the touchback, the 3 times that they've started at the 20 or inside, Utah State's defense has turned them back. So, again, special teams key in the field position battle tonight. Chucky Keaton, 10 touchdowns, no interceptions. I think he's coming out and saying, we're going to see who the best freshman quarterback in the country is tonight.
Smith off to the edge. This is Huron, their big play receiver, and Brooks has got more. Brooks, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, down here on the Aggie sideline, and you talk about the receivers and how good they've been blocking. Big part of that is Coach Boaknight, the receivers coach. He's actually a Wyoming alum. He's second in all-time catches at the University of Wyoming with 250 receptions, and he's a great receivers coach and doing a fantastic job here for Utah State. Back to you, Michael.
All right, thank you, Brooks. He was juiced for this matchup. This one's incomplete. I think Robertson on that far side made sure that Doxson wasn't going to come up with that one.
And everything's quick, like you said. Quick snap, shotgun snap, almost no drop, just turning and throwing. The one time they did take a couple of steps back, Koskin got to him. Wyoming 2 of 5 on 3rd down conversions. Utah State's defense actually has played fairly well other than that opening drive and then the one short field drive that Wyoming had.
Smith, here comes pressure. He's in trouble. He got rid of it. This has got to be a penalty marker. There was nobody in the area, and there it is.
Great call by Coach Gary Anderson, bringing Koskin, Gallagher, and Wagner on the pressure this time. Smith, this one's a freshman mistake. I mean, he should have thrown it away early. He waited. By the time he did get rid of it, there's no wide receiver out there. There's no receiver at all out there. And this is going to pin him back very deep.
Intentional grounding, number 16. Spot of the foul. It is now 4th down.
And because that's a spot foul, it's all the way back inside the 5. The Aggies are going to get terrific field position out of this.
Connor Williams also coming off the edge as well. And you just don't want to make a mistake if you're Smith in this case. And there is Koskin to clean up.
You saw that when he first took the look down the field, he should have thrown it out of bounds at that point. He held it a little bit too long. Williams got a hold of him, threw it, and nobody there.
He's away from his own end line. And here is Kerwin inside the 30. Veers to the outside. Will be stopped at about the 26-yard line. And how about this field position for a team that's just unstoppable right now on the offensive side?
No doubt about it, but in film tomorrow when they look at this punt return, Kerwin Williams is going to kick himself, letting that offensive lineman tackle him right there in the open field. But still, a 20-plus yard return on the punt. Utah State right back almost in the red zone where they're unstoppable.
GNC's scoring drive, 13 plays, 57 yards. Of course, it was Morrison with the touchdown.
They're scoring so fast, that was a possession ago.
It has been fast and furious in this first half. As Yalavea going in motion to that far side. Marshall going to keep it. And they found something here with Robert Marshall, who really, I think, only carried the ball against Weber State in that Week 2 blowout. Getting a lot of touches here in this first half against the Cowboys.
We talked about it a couple of weeks ago in that Colorado State game that Utah State's offensive line has really dominated the line of scrimmage in each of the ball games. Even again last week against BYU where they rushed for 230 yards in that ball game. This offensive line has just been dominant all season long in the run game.
There's Robert Turbin up the middle. It'll be 1st and goal from the 9-yard line for this Aggie offense.
Chucky looking to the sideline saying, Coach, you want us at the line of scrimmage? You want us to hurry up tempo? Let's go. And Coach Baldwin was saying, no, let's get settled on this particular call. But they are just blowing this Wyoming defensive line off the football.
Smith, the lone back. Going to play action to him. Keaton going to look to run for it. He's still going. He slowed up a bit at about the line of scrimmage. Does gain a few there on 1st and goal, but I think he saw like a wide open area, and then Wyoming Cowboy came off of a block and slowed his progress.
And one of his offensive linemen out there in front of him as well. And now the Aggies into the Wildcat, split Keaton out.
Michael Smith taking down again from behind to about the 6-yard line. 3rd and goal now coming up.
I want to go back to that play by Keaton, though. He made a good decision because he had 3 men into the flat with Keegan Anderson getting to the pylon, but he made a choice to cut the ball upfield, made a good choice because they were covered up. This freshman plays beyond his freshman year.
So here we go, trips formation to this near side for Keaton. Now Smith going out to the far side. Chucky has time, fires, and it's caught. Should be a touchdown, or it is. Terran Lloyd, the senior tight end out of Viewmont High School, has scored his first touchdown of the season.
19 of 19 in the red zone, 16 touchdowns. It's remarkable. It's just phenomenal. This Aggie offense is prolific inside the red zone.
They're going to put up 42 points here in the first half, Kevin.
Wow.
If Thompson can hit this point after.
And remember, they were down 12-0 before they even touched the football.
The PAT is good. Aggie fans, how does 42 first half points sound? My goodness. Keaton now 13 of 16 for 205 yards and 4 touchdowns. He has 11 touchdowns and no interceptions.
I tell you, for a freshman, I knew that he came into this ball game saying, Smith's getting the publicity, the freshman quarterback for Wyoming. But tonight, Chucky, we talked about it in the opening, tonight was the night that they were going to let him loose. And they have done that, and he has responded. 4 touchdown passes here in the first half, over 200 yards through the air. Very consistent with these throws, making great reads, and 42 points in the first half. Utah State was bound and determined to have a breakout game, and tonight it may be that game. On pace for 84 tonight. Don't know that will happen, but boy, 6 for 6 on their possessions, scored on each and every one, including a 99-yarder in the first quarter.
Offense yet to be stopped by this Cowboy defense. Jacob Howder again to kick off from the goal line. Up past the 20 to the 30-yard line, and so decent field position here. It was Ghali Mohammed. It looked like he took a shot that time. One of the Aggie special teamers going off the field.
It's interesting. Wyoming came into the game number 15 in the country in red zone defense. Utah State, obviously, number 1 in the country in red zone offense, being perfect. The Aggies 5 for 5 tonight in red zone offense. 0 for 5 for that Wyoming defense.
They're going to drop in the rankings. What do you think?
I think that may be the case.
Tonight's performance so far. Smith goes down again. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and Smith is dropped. Pardon me, that's
Miller, the
running back.
That's right, little zone read. And now, as a defense, now you start teeing off. Now you're smelling some blood. Now you're feeling good about yourself. You got a couple of stops. Your offense has taken it the other way and gotten into the end zone. Aggies playing strong on both sides of the football right now.
Miller, the one-time walk-on, has that rushing touchdown. Scored earlier in this quarter. Approaching 1.5 to play in this first half. Ghali Mohammed off the edge. Good pickup on a 2nd and long. Brady with the stop.
And I think if you're Wyoming at this point, you kind of want this clock to hurry and run out so you can get into the locker room and try to make a few adjustments, especially on the defensive side. How do we slow this Utah State offense down?
This is a big play here, a 3rd and 3. Aggies possibly, if they get a stop, will get the football back for some time.
Don't be surprised if Utah State calls timeout. Well, that just Big Al.
Couldn't hold the water that time, Kevin. Jumped off sides, and this should give Wyoming a first down.
Offsides defense, number 77, 5-yard penalty.
Utah State football will be back at home Saturday, October 22nd against Louisiana Tech. 1 p.m. kickoff. For tickets, you can buy them online at www.utahstateaggies.com. Click on the tickets button or call 1-888-U-STATE-1. Of course, next week, Utah State will begin conference play against Fresno State. Dropped one last night against Boise. Smith. There's Robert Huron with the catch and just surrounded by Aggies. A swarming Aggie defense makes the stop.
Coach Anderson loves that when you got 6, 7, 8 defenders running to the football. They had him surrounded. And I really think Greg Brandon, the offensive coordinator for Wyoming, just trying to get him into the locker room now without Utah State touching the football again.
Robertson there on the true freshman, Doxson. 2nd and 8. Smith. Huron again with a catch. Scampers out of bounds after another first down.
Good read by Smith this time.
He's their big play guy coming in. 21 catches, 211 yards, and 3 touchdowns. All tops in Wyoming for receivers. And he's made a few catches, but really hasn't made the big play as of yet. 20 seconds left. That was a gain of 14 yards.
Although Wyoming almost in at least field goal range here with 20 seconds to go.
And Sullivan's got a strong leg, but he hasn't been accurate. Just 1 for 3. Talked to Coach Christensen about it. He can hit him for 50 yards. Just has those jitters sometimes. Nice catch. Doxson reaching behind him, making the grab. The clock now stopping with 13 seconds after Wyoming calls a timeout.
And another good read by Smith. On this previous play, was a little upcut. Saw if he could get Doxson down the sideline. It was good coverage by the Utah State defense. Came back underneath. Another good read here.
Utah State men's basketball season tickets are available now. Season ticket packages include marquee games against BYU and other WAC opponents. The season tips off October 28th when the Aggies host UC San Diego at 7 p.m. To purchase season tickets, contact the Utah State ticket office at 1-888-U-STATE-1 or visit UtahStateAggies.com. And we will hear from Coach Stu Morrill up at halftime at a nice sit-down conversation with Stu earlier in the week. And a two-parter. Talks about his team and also talks about the realignment, what's happening with college athletics. I'm sure you're interested in that, being a one-time athletic director of Snow College.
You know, the movement, again, TCU this week getting the invite to the Big 12. BYU wondering where they're at in that whole conference realignment. Of course, Utah State, you mentioned it earlier, they haven't even started WAC play yet. They're 6 weeks in, and they get their first WAC action next week against Fresno State. Boy, if they could hold on to this victory here tonight, gives them a lot of momentum going into that WAC season. This is a key ball game for Utah State. We talked about it 2 weeks ago with Colorado State. How do you measure yourself against a Colorado State or a Wyoming? Those kinds of programs are how you measure yourself in terms of your building of a program.
To 15 seconds. Please reset the clock to 15 seconds.
So they'll add 2 more seconds here for Wyoming. But it's important, I think, to get confidence going into that conference opener against Fresno State.
No doubt about it. And, of course, Fresno State getting drilled last night by Boise State. You know, maybe they're coming back a little bit. Utah State in terrific position this year to really compete for a bowl game in that WAC conference.
Wide open with Boise now going to the Mountain West. Here's Smith. All sorts of time. Going to throw on the run. It's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Wagner. And he returns it to the 43-yard line. Aggies have 4 seconds left. Well, what do you do here with 4 seconds?
Well, you're 6 for 6 on your possessions. Do you take a knee here and break your percentage? Probably so. Although, you know, at midfield, close to midfield, maybe you take a shot for that Hail Mary down the field. Or maybe you've got a Boise State little hook and ladder play here in your arsenal. I think they're going to just take a knee here. They got Austin back. Yeah, they're just going to take a knee here and take it to the locker room. They get the football to start the second half.
So Bobby Wagner, the tackling machine, comes up with an interception, and Chucky Keaton just takes a knee. Hard to complain about this first half of action. The Aggies put up 42 points in the first half, a 40-burger already. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from Stu Morrill. Very impressive by the Aggies.
Minnesota.